I was a overweight person in school, and there were these bad incidents which I can never get out of my head. I think after my board exam, my mom wanted to give me a treat, so she took me to this clothing store, and in the trial room, the L size was very tight for me. The lady who helped around, I just asked her saying, can you have the next size? So she mockingly gave a reply to me saying that if you want a bigger size than this, probably you should go to the factory outlet. They always used to be these body shaming episodes, even when I started out media. I did it all, like yoga, Zumba, dance aerobics, everything. I would just excitedly go work out. Then I would just have some salads and fruits all day long, or sometimes not eat for hours together. But it would lead to some gastritis problem, acidity problem, and a whole lot of side effects.
Hello guys, welcome to another session of our podcast, Gut Feeling with Dr. Pal. Today we have a very interesting personality. I absolutely love talking with her. Her name is VJ Ramya. She's a VJ, she's an actress, she is a fitness enthusiast. So we talked about a lot. We talked about her fitness journey, about body positivity, body shaming, how important it is for a woman to adopt strength training, tips and tricks where you can include right away into your life on a daily basis. I learned a lot. More importantly, I absolutely loved her mindset. I wish I had that mindset. Stay tuned till the end of the podcast. I guarantee you, you're going to learn a lot.
So I'm very happy with the way I look, and I just want to push myself for the next best strength I can achieve. Today, if I'm able to do about 60 kgs of squat, my target is, I wish I can do 70 kg squat. It's not anymore about a particular number on the weighing scale, or it's not about me going to have flat abs. I know those things are not sustainable.
I always say that weight loss journey is a little bit tough for women. It's because of the hormones. I always talk about circadian rhythm.
Right.
For men, it's relatively easier. You have testosterone.
Yeah.
You have estrogen, progesterone, everything.
I envy men. They just come to the gym, work out, and immediately the shirt size is tighter. I'll have to lift and my muscle increase will be like 0.5 to 1 kg in a year.
Hello, Ramya.
Hi, doctor. Lovely to see you in India. Welcome to India and welcome to Chennai.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
I've been a huge fan of you, following all the good work that you've been doing.
Thank you. Means a lot. I'm a fan of you also. Mutual admiration.
Oh, thank you. So I want to start off this podcast by letting people know which they might not have known before.
Okay.
That you are a winner in a powerlifting competition.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, I am. I think people know about it. That's where everything began.
I see.
So I've always been somebody, because being in the job that I am in the media, it's very important to look thin back in the day. So I used to do the crash diets, I used to do excessive exercising, go to random gyms and just work out, run on the treadmill, everything. And nothing seemed to work. And then about easily 7-8 years back, the concept
when you say nothing seemed to work is
weight would change for 2 days, it will come back to square one. Or it would really bring my mood levels down. Hair fall started. There were too many side effects, and I was not seeing a consistent difference in my body. This is when about 7 years back, I got into this functional fitness, which was a very new concept back then. CrossFit, functional fitness, HIIT,
I see.
all of this was started by this place called The Unit, which is not there anymore. But 7 years back, I just went and I was walking rather in my area, and there was an open space where people were working out using barbells and kettlebells, and I've never seen those things before, so I got very excited. I went for a trial class, and the next day I couldn't walk. I couldn't come down my stairs. I couldn't get out of my bed. I couldn't sit in my Western toilet. It was that bad. My soreness was terrible. But when I spoke to the tutor then, she said, this is just the beginning of it. Soreness is normal. It's just that you've started finally working out and your body is seeing these sensations. And then I became addicted towards it. So I was pushing myself a lot, and I could really see the muscle in my body performing well, making me feel strong, not just physically, but also mentally. It was such a big change. The mood, the elevation. I became responsible for myself. I wanted to get into a discipline. I wanted to eat right, preserve my muscle, do the right things in that direction.
Did you know about all this before?
Not at all.
Not at all.
It was all a journey. That took me to powerlifting also. When she started seeing how passionate I became about fitness, and from where I started in about 6 months, when there was a complete transformation in my approach towards life, she said, I think you should do this, because in the space that you are, where people are seeing you as an example doing things, if you as a women are not perceptually, women are not identified with powerlifting and things like that. Leave alone powerlifting, even if you go to a gym, it's gone there. So when I did this, and that time the participants were like 4-5 people along with me, and when I could do a bench, when I could do a deadlift beyond my body weight, I think I did about 85 kgs back then. Squat was about 65 kgs. I was 55 kgs. So all of that gave me the district and state level gold. And that was identified back then, and that became like one shift in my thinking that, okay, probably I've found my purpose. This is my area. I need to settle into this. Yeah.
In 2015, when you went to powerlifting, but you just didn't know that you were going to powerlifting. You just went for the gym thing.
Yeah. No, I knew I was going into a powerlifting, but it was very overwhelming for me. She just said, let's just go. My coach was a female trainer. She said, let's just go. So I went, and I was the only woman in that room. Everybody else were men. And you know how it is, right? Big bodies, gym bodies, the Amritanjan smell coming out of nowhere in a small hall. And at the minute I went in, everybody just turning and looking at me like, what is she doing here? Or maybe she's come to give the trophies for us or something like that. But doctor, it was so lovely when I actually did my lift. There's a procedure you need to follow in powerlifting. Like you need to wear their shoes, there's a particular costume, you need to wear your belt and everything, go to the stage. Then there is a jury member who will call out these instructions. And when they say start, you need to start. When they say lift, you need to lift. Then you need to hold that position. Anything which goes wrong, you're disqualified. And then only when they say now drop, you can drop into a squat, or you come out of the squat, or you do the deadlift, bench, everything. So you have 3 attempts, and only if you get it right in all the 3 attempts, you're qualified to even participate and stand in the competition in that whole direction. And it gets very scary because there's so many people, so much happening, you're scared, it's weights you're handling. God forbid something goes wrong, there's injury. But what I loved was, because people knew who I was, the minute I went on the stage, every man out there wanted me to win. And they were cheering. It was like the first day, first show of watching a superstar film, right? They're like, you can do it, come on, come on. And that adrenaline is what I think pushed me to do the best numbers. The numbers which I wouldn't have probably hit in my deadlift and squat.
In your gym?
In my gym, I exceeded that. I just could do that because of that adrenaline.
Wow.
I loved powerlifting. That was a great experience.
But before powerlifting, did you go to gym regularly to lift weights and everything?
It was not a gym. It was like an open space where in the morning around 5:30, 6, we will all gather up. It was a group training session.
I see.
So it was a session where 45 minutes we had this whole HIIT performance happening. Slowly that shifted to hypertrophy weight training. So every day I would work out one muscle. One day it will be glutes and hamstrings. One day it will be chest and triceps. So this became the pattern. When we heard about something like a powerlifting happening in Chennai, that's when that idea came.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. And your inclination to fitness.
Yeah.
Right? So has it been around 2015 or even before that?
Even before that, like I started this whole fitness thing right from the time I was in school.
In school?
Yeah. Because I was a overweight person in school. And there were these bad incidents which I can never get out of my head, where I think after my board exam, my mom wanted to give me a treat. So she took me to this clothing store, and in the trial room the L size was very tight for me. So the lady who helped around, I just asked her saying, can you have the next size? So she mockingly gave a reply to me saying that if you want a bigger size than this, probably you should go to the factory outlet directly and ask. And they always used to be these body shaming episodes, even when I started out media. Back then, that was like one cold incident for me, that incident in school. So then I would just stop eating. I would starve myself all the time.
Wow. How old were you?
About 15.
15.
Yeah. I would I would buy only oversized clothes so that I look smaller in those.
Wow.
I had a big body shaming mental experience. Getting into media at a younger age, I was 16 when I got in. only made it worse, sir. Because that's an industry where people you have the license to comment anything and everything, right?
Correct.
So the cameraman, the director, all of them would come to me and say things like, what's wrong with you? You put on so much weight. Do you drink? Did you go to a party last night? Is that why your face is looking so puffy and bloated? So that just took me further down. And I was just feeling miserable. I did it all, like yoga, Zumba, dance aerobics, everything. I would just excitedly go work out. Then I would just have some salads and fruits all day long, or sometimes not eat for hours together. But it would lead to some gastritis problem, acidity problem, and a whole lot of side effects. But I really didn't have a ventilation to talk about it, nor did I find a solution. For me, it was like, can I just not be smaller in size? Can I not do something to be thin? That was the thing. Gym also I tried, but until this functional fitness happened, I couldn't see any change.
Functional fitness is like the last 8 years.
Yeah, 2013 I would say.
2013. So the reason I'm asking this is, this is what is happening in America right now, where also here, where eating disorders is extremely common in that age group, between 12 to 18.
Correct.
Where similar to starving yourself, or you eat something and then you put your hand inside your mouth to vomit everything out.
Bulimia, right?
Bulimia, correct. And initially, when we used to read that in the books, it looks like it can really happen because we were never exposed when we were here in India. But when we go there, it was extremely common.
Right.
And I'm glad that you are coming out with all this. That it is absolutely important that body shaming is one thing, and also loving your body is another aspect as well.
Oh yeah, I think it starts there. You firstly need to be very content with where you are, and the journey is always going to be there, doctor. Even today, there might be 100 people who might love to be in my shape and size and want to have Ramya's body. But Ramya is never satisfied with her body. She'll only want to push herself for the next level. So I'm still not happy. I would want to go to the next level. But the shift of thinking is, back in the day when I was that girl, for me it was all about, if I do that, then I'll be happy. If I get into that weighing scale number, I'm going to be happy. Today, it is for me an understanding that this is a journey. So I'm very happy with the way I look, and I just want to push myself for the next best strength I can achieve. Today, if I'm able to do about 60 kgs of squat, my target is, I wish I can do 70 kg squat. It's not anymore about a particular number on the weighing scale, or it's not about me going to have flat abs. I know those things are not sustainable, and I'm very clear about the fact that it's not just one thing. It's not like if I go excessively do some 500 calorie workout in the morning, magically my, the number on the scale will change and everything will be fine by the next day. It's a combination of my sleep. It's a combination of my stress. It's a combination of my eating, most importantly. And yeah, exercise is one little part of it. I feel like women and men, we want everything very short, quick, fast these days. So we just want to go work out, or we just want to starve and see results.
Correct.
We're not thinking about the other factors which are as important as this.
Absolutely. I always say that weight loss journey is a little bit tough for women. It's because of the hormones. I always talk about circadian rhythm.
Right.
For men, it's relatively easier. You have testosterone. You have estrogen, progesterone, everything.
I envy men. They just come to the gym, work out, and immediately the shirt size is tighter. I'll have to lift and my muscle increase will be 0.5 to 1 kg in a year.
Even if the muscle doesn't increase, we put a t-shirt, no pain, no gain.
Yeah, tell me about that. I envy men in that sense. Yeah, this hormonal thing is a big bummer in a lot of situations. Because we have to go through that cycle every 28 days in the month, and that's not just even 3 days. It's I recently put up a reel on my Instagram which had about 15 million views in a very short time because people could relate to it. It's about, please don't judge us by that time, dear men. That was my caption. Because about 3-4 days before that cycle starts, our moods are all over the place. We just get anxious, we get annoyed, and then once the period cycle starts, we get depressed. Our body has cramps. We have these feelings which we can't even tell people, and nobody is going to understand us. And immediately it'll be like a magical shift. The minute those 3-day cycles are over, we're so happy.
Correct.
So people who are living, the family members, they'll be thinking what's wrong with her? What's happening?
Correct.
But only as women we go through it.
Right.
And that reflects also, like you said, in the weight. So let's say I'm slogging myself for 20 days. In my 23rd to 25th day mark, I feel bloated. I'm having cramps. No matter how hard I'm pushing myself, my vein number is not going down. It's up there. And then slowly after my periods start, now I'm not even able to work out functionally. I'm that tired. I just don't have the motivation to do anything right now. I'm just lying flat in the bed. I want to eat all the time. I want chocolates. Cravings are high up for me in the night especially. And then once I finish, I'm just seeing that, okay, the weight loss is finally happening. And before I'm happy and content with it, I have the next cycle coming up. So where do I even like position myself? I don't know.
Right. If you look at the pathophysiology of it, every woman is having a cell dying and then having a rebirth again every month.
Wow.
Right? Every month. Because the uterus is expecting ovum to be fertilized every month.
Correct.
And then when that's not happening, it's basically destructing the entire thing. And the whole thing is starting all over again. It's basically a reincarnation kind of thing.
Every single month.
Every single month. On the top of it, and this topic is very passionate to me because I feel like in our Indian community, where fitness is not, to be starting itself, fitness is not talked about a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you are doing from a women's standpoint is because I feel like fitness has to be talked, especially among women, right when they get married.
Absolutely.
Right when they get married.
Absolutely.
And there's lots of research says that when the healthy mom can transfer genetically and also through the natural process, good gut bacteria to the baby.
I'd say even before is better, no, doctor. Well. I was watching one of your videos where you said the first 40 years are what you're sowing and you reap the benefits of that later.
Absolutely.
I really regret sometimes, like I should have started much earlier.
Much earlier. The reason I'm saying that in around the marriage age is that's where our people around us, we feed them so much once they get pregnant. Look at the phase, right? Yeah. So pregnancy phase, we feed them so much.
Correct.
Thinking that they need more, not for the women, for the baby.
Yeah. Eat for 2 people. That's what they'll say, no? 2 பேருக்கு சேர்ந்து சாப்பிடுங்க.
And once the baby is born, they also think that you eat more to feed the baby more. And the amount of weight gain that they have during the pregnancy, they're finding it very difficult to take it off because the weight gain is more.
Excessively high. Around the time women get married, actually people are very conscious about
the weight.
Correct. People actually, it's horrible and it's very sad that sometimes mothers bring daughters and tell me like, I want her to get into a certain size so that I can look for a nice groom for her. And right in front of the woman there. Like she's not pretty, so nobody wants to get her married. She's too fat, so nobody wants to get her married. The languaging which our hereditary parents do really affects the mindset of that little daughter who is 18, 20, 25. And that's going to be carried generation by generation after that. It's very hard to overcome it. I'm telling you, even now, being this person, I still can't get out of those comments which were made to me when I was in my teen years. So I think even the talking, the communication, how you say, it's supposed to be funny. Like in our films, sometimes how the comedian is ridiculing other women, body shaming them, or how he is also ridiculed by other people, the heroes and everything. And that's supposed to be funny and everybody laughs about it. I think we should move from that scale. Absolutely. I don't see that happening in Bollywood anymore and in Malayalam industry anymore. It's still happening in our television shows, in our movies. And I've also been a victim of it. Back in the day, they used to make jokes about my body, the co-anchor. And I used to feel upset. But that time, doc, if you raise your voice and tell them, please don't do this, they'll say you're not being cool. Now finally there is a hashtag saying #body shaming, #women rights and all of that.
Right.
So I'm very happy for that. But before social media was a different situation. If the other day my makeup artist was saying how when she walked into a wedding, her longtime friend who has not seen her for so many years immediately comes and says something like "enna pushnika mari aita" and laughs. And it really affected her internally. You can say, if you're out of concern, you can say, yeah, please drop a few kilos. It's not healthy for you.
Correct.
But how you put it across means a lot.
That's the body positivity kind of thing comes along. So in US, where I am practicing, where body positivity is being talked about a lot.
Okay.
Which is good in one way, or also bad in another way as well. So when I'm seeing a patient when he is obese and he's having heart disease, and I tell them that, you need to do all these things to lose weight.
Yeah.
And he's saying that I love my body, this is how I'm going to be.
Oh.
Correct.
But you're a professional.
And you see them on my Google reviews, they say Dr. Palaniyappan Manikam
body shamed me. This is very similar to my friend who was telling during COVID, his son was all the time sitting and eating. So I believe he said, you should go out and play and, face the sunlight, look at you, you're gaining weight. And then he said, you're body shaming me, and went and shut himself inside the room. This is a father talking to the son in a very, very concerned manner. But like you're saying, it's just a very thin line between this side and that side.
And I see few patients, they really cannot do, they do so much of dieting and their physical activity is very limited. And because of all the other diseases that's happening, it's very difficult to lose weight in a particular set of patients. So there is just a very fine line.
Correct.
What I tell my patients is that, you love your body first, regardless of whatever it is. And then all the advices that you're getting, you just ingrain in your subconscious mind, and then slowly your body will change accordingly.
Yeah.
So the concept that I'm discussing with you is for our young women.
Correct.
In India,
right.
Where they are going through this body acceptance mechanism. What will you tell them? What will be your suggestion?
I would totally take your comment on this. I think first, as anybody and everybody, women are always told, you need a man in your life, you need a dependency on somebody in your life. He's the man of the house. I think we're moving from that level where women are now seen as independent human beings with equality. We are not asking for anything beyond equality, but just equality. Equality in pay scale, equality in education, equality in career. It's lovely to see in India so many of our women being auto drivers and bus drivers and doing the jobs which were once upon a time only done by men. So similarly, when we are going to see ourselves as individuals, I think the starting of everything is we are born alone, we are going to die alone. So taking care of the body is the basic necessity that we need to do as women, irrespective of what comes in the way. Okay, we're going to get married, we're going to have a child, all of that. But how you take care of yourself is also influencing that child when he or she grows up. So if you're going to take all the food in the house which are left as leftovers and put it on you as a dumping machine, and that child watches it, it'll think, okay, this is how as mothers we need to be later. This is supposed to be sacrificing, but it's not. And I think even for a longevity of life, for me, the bigger question is, irrespective of whether you're a man or a woman, until you die, you need to be functionally on your own.
Correct.
Later in your 60s, 70s, if you have hell a lot of lifestyle diseases and your dependency is on another person, the entire idea of you working, slogging so much, earning your money, everything is nothing.
Correct.
So it is health is wealth first. Just for that very factor itself, be it you're a career-oriented woman who's all the time very busy, or whether you're a young mother who's just out of pregnancy, has no time to take care of yourself, I think about 45 minutes to 1 hour is not too much to ask for yourself every single day. And that, if it is strategically planned and executed based on your lifestyle, it can reap hell a lot of benefits in the long run. This thinking has to come from inside. And I think there should be a support system around. If there are going to be partners, in-laws, kids who are saying, look after me, I am more important, it's never going to happen. They need to somewhere say, this 1 hour is yours, we will be able to handle ourselves, go do it. That talk, when it starts coming from the family members, it makes a huge difference.
My demographic is 25 to 45 years old.
Okay.
And mainly women.
Right.
Mainly women. The reason that it's mainly women is because of the hormonal imbalance we talked about. And I always tell them that 1 hour that you said, if the family is not giving to you, you need to come upfront, put your foot down and say, I need that 1 hour. I need to take care of myself to take care of others.
Yes, absolutely. It's actually sad that Men don't have to do these explanations at home, but women have to.
Right. It is changing though. I can at least give a little bit of a...
Yeah. No, I hope India catches up to America so soon, at least in those, certain points where you don't have to. Yeah, we are catching up there.
So that 1 hour, so let's say that, okay, after seeing this podcast, a person says, okay, I want to become like Ramya. And I want to do...
It can be better than Ramya. Let me not keep the bar there.
I want to do the 1 hour per day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do they start?
I think simple walking, doctor. I'm a great believer, I think you also endorse me in this, of early morning getting up and facing the sunlight. I think you were also saying
absolutely,
that.
Yeah.
I love it. I've been a morning person right from my birth, but it's not innate in a lot of people. People beg to differ. They're like sometimes saying that as long as you get a workout, how different is it whether it's AM or PM? For me personally, if it is in the morning, it has a lot of advantages. You get that difficult thing which you've been pushing out, you're done. So that gives you by itself a great sense of satisfaction.
Correct.
And if that's the hardest thing that you want to do in a day and you're able to do that, anything which comes your way after that looks much lighter, simpler. It's a endorphin release right after workout. It's only about a matter of putting your clothes, stepping into your shoes and going to the gym or going for a walk. 15 minutes into it, you're not going to stop. That much I know.
Correct.
And once you complete it, it's always going to be a winning episode.
Correct.
It's not going to be where you're going to feel regret saying, why did I even work out today? So it's the motivation is only for that first 15 minutes which you need to push. And if you wire your brain, like just how you brush your teeth, how you take your bath, that this is something I'm going to do every single day, I think it becomes easy. So the starting point should be plain walking. But I'm saying just please don't settle there because everybody says, I do walking every day and then they go into a sedentary job where they have to sit throughout the day and they still keep asking, why am I not losing weight?
Correct.
Walking is movement. Training is for your strength, is for your muscle, is for protecting your joints. And for women, all the benefits it can give in the long run.
Correct.
So there are two parts to it. If you are having a crunch of time, start with walking. Once you feel confident with walking, split it into maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes of strength training and 20 minutes of walking. Or you can completely devote that time to strength training in the morning. The rest of the day, every 1 hour, if you have some sort of an alarm system on your phone, which gives you reminders to just walk, get up, do some sort of a movement, fidgeting, just to increase the NEAT in your body.
Right.
That will be a great way to start things.
Right. Once, let's say they are started that already.
Yeah.
Okay. The main question I get is that I've been fasting 12 hours. I'm following your method.
Okay.
Okay. So I just for people who don't know, I follow this. I recommend patients sunrise to sunset method.
I do the same.
Yeah.
Circadian rhythm.
Circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
And similar to working out in the morning, because when you see sunlight, it triggers all your hormones.
Yeah.
And especially digestive hormones.
Yeah.
And after sunset, digestive hormones comes down.
Right.
So basically, when you eat late at night, the quality is not there.
Correct.
It is there, but it's quality not there. So when you are in the morning, in that 1 hour, after walking, let's say you walked for like a couple of months, I am having so much difficulty in people to let them lift weights.
Why you like that?
In women.
Why do you say that?
Because everybody is hesitant. They say, I do yoga.
Yeah.
Okay, I do yoga. And then I walk. Sometimes they say I running as well. So I'm telling them that all these are relatively cardio exercise.
Yeah.
And especially for women in the menopausal period, the joint problem with the bone problem because of the hormonal issue is slightly more
osteoporosis.
Common. Osteoporosis. And if you talk to any orthopedic doctor, they say that knee replacement, hip replacement is very common in 65-year-old female and not men that much.
Correct.
Yeah. So I want you to use an example for my audience to see how they can love weight training.
Okay. So cardiovascular activity, why I think women normally love is we love sweating. And you tend to get more a sweaty feel when you do cardio activities. If you have a gadget or something, it tells you are burning more calories when you're doing a cardiovascular activity. And in general, we have been conditioned that you need to really work hard and do something really tough. That's when you'll feel the validation point tick. If you do something easy and simple, which is boring also and which does not have variety. Because in weight training, what do? Every day you go to the gym, you pick some weights, it's the same dumbbell, it's the same barbell. If it's a hypertrophy training, you're going to do the same upper body each week.
Correct.
You're just going to see changes very slowly in your, in the clothes that you wear. Probably the weighing scale might even be the same if you're gaining muscle.
Correct.
So all of this goes in for a mind problem with women. And sometimes it's very funny when women come and tell me that they joined the gym and 3 days later they've put on muscle. Because it can't happen like that. Like you said, we don't have testosterone. It's impossible for us to look like a man. Or they say things like garbapai vandu yarangidum and all those things. It's just not possible for us to go through those things. So because of the too much information, I think women are somewhere settling that weights are going to be not in the right direction. It will make them look like a man. They will become stiff. And yoga, on the other hand, is about flexibility, is about agility. I'm not saying don't do yoga.
Yeah, correct, exactly.
I'm saying keep that yoga for once a week.
Correct.
At least 3 days of strength training is very important for all the reasons that you simply said.
Correct.
And for the longevity. And in general, I think for the inner strength and the confidence that you need to face life, women go through a lot in the environment that they are in at home, in work, just thriving along with men who are still considered to be superiors, who still have the majority of the population in comparison to women. It is a tough life for any woman out there. For that strength, I think the physical strength is very important. For me, the game changed only when I became physically stronger, that okay, then I can be mentally stronger. It was just a process, and it's beautiful lessons that you learn in the course of doing strength training. I pick up a weight today, I try to do triceps or biceps. I'm not even able to hold 1 kg when I start with. But let's say 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, I'm able to easily do that 1 kg, 2 kg. 6 weeks, 8 weeks later, that 1 kg, 2 kg becomes easy for me. Now I have to go get a higher weight. Isn't this like a great lesson that we can learn for life?
Absolutely.
Failure is the stepping stone to success. Try, and you will succeed. So all these beautiful morals also in life was all starting with the strength training for me.
What are the myths that is available, that is around in India? That with women and strength training, like becoming a man. Becoming
a man is common, and that if you are going to weight train, then you won't get pregnant.
Actually, if you weight train, you
will get pregnant
because the hormones work better.
Yes, and even if you are weight training, like you're saying, once the person gets pregnant, I know you need to watch out on the kind of training you need to do. Doesn't mean you need to stop everything and sit at home.
Correct.
That's another myth which goes on. Like just stop everything because then some problem will happen to the baby.
I'll tell you an example.
Yeah.
I have to lift weights. Okay. I look very lean. The reason that I was pretty big before, I lost weight, but I just lost weight just because of fasting and diet and everything. I didn't know that I will lose muscle mass as well.
Okay.
So now, after knowing that, I went to gym. Okay, I started lifting weights, and in the gym there is this 20-week pregnant lady.
Okay.
Okay, and she is lifting weights.
Wow.
20-week pregnant.
This is an American lady.
This is an
American
lady. This is an American lady. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she was lifting 20 pounds.
Wow.
Okay. And I was asking her, can you please lift the 20 pounds and give it to me because I was not able to lift it.
Oh, really? Fascinating, right? Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Then I was so curious. I was like, you were pregnant. You know, I don't have any qualms in saying that I don't know much about fitness before being a doctor myself. And I can talk on this on behalf of all doctors because we were not trained on dietitian and nutrition during medical education.
Right.
Okay. So I asked her, okay, when did you start? She said, right from the age of 15, 16,
Nice.
I've never stopped lifting weights.
Great.
Never stopped lifting weights. And this is her 4th pregnancy.
Oh, really? Amazing.
And she looked like a muscular, fit lady.
Lovely.
And then she said, so, okay, that I understand, but do you lift weights even during pregnancy? And she said that only during the last trimester, she doesn't lift heavy weights.
Yeah. That's what they say. You're supposed to not do too heavy, but you're still supposed, you should do because it helps in the pregnancy, delivery. It helps in the post-delivery situation.
Correct.
And like you're saying, there are higher chances of you getting pregnant if you do. In fact, for PCOS, PCOD condition, what do gynecologists say? Start strength training is what they say.
Correct.
That's the basic of everything.
Absolutely.
So when a doctor certified person tells you to do this, the other myth I wanted to address you is don't take protein. protein is very bad, it will affect your kidney. Any form of protein, whether it's whey protein, whether it's vegetarian, whether it's non-vegetarian, too much protein is not good for health. Too much protein is definitely not good for health.
Correct.
But if we actually do the macros, all of us are under eating when it comes to protein, because 1 gram per 1 kilo of body weight is the basic. Irrespective of whether you exercise or not. How many of us are really able to get to about 60 grams or 70 grams of protein every single day?
Correct.
And we coming up with things like I'm eating dal, I'm eating chickpeas, all of that becomes very funny. I'm eating paneer, because when we look at the macros again, paneer meaning more fat.
Correct.
Dals, lentil meaning more carbohydrates. There is no protein in any of the food that we take unless you're a meat eater.
Correct.
And if you are a meat eater again, it has its own side effects when you add too much of processed meat and things like that.
Correct.
So somewhere that knowledge for eating the right kind of food and protein and vegetables, fiber, I think it's so important, doctor.
And let's say a 40-year-old lady looking at this and decides to do weight training, inspired by Ramya. Okay.
For everything you add, just tag like inspired by Ramya.
And then say that, okay, I want to do. Do they join a gym in India, or what do they do?
There are gyms in India.
They do. But they do a job.
They don't. So I will tell you my personal story. I had yesterday a woman who is. I do something online. Like I have my own set of programs that people can join and I help them out with trainers and nutritionists. There is a lady who wants to do an online program with me, and after she joined, she tells me, I don't want any male trainer training me. This is online. It is virtual. And we don't have any harassment issues through the trainers or anything. But there's a whole thing in the head that trainers, meaning in India, they need to be female. They should be ready to come home at our available time. These perks, I don't think you get in the US.
No.
No way, right? It's literally like, I'm hiring you, you have to come home and just do things for me at my cost, at my service, at my timings, and then you can. And gym is a very scary place in India because obviously most of the time there's a cardio room and a strength room. In the cardio room, you'll see all the women. In the treadmill machines, everything. In the strength room, there'll be all the gym bros. There is no space for a woman. Today morning when I had to work out, I was the only woman at 5:30 in the morning doing my strength training there. And it can get a lot for somebody who is a little shy and feeling awkward and all that. So the culture in working out in gym, it's changing. The youngsters are stepping up, the ones who are right now in college, who are, probably in their early 20s, they're stepping up. But the ones who are in their 35s, 40s, I think they really need to own it and go do it.
Go do it.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think, like I said, group fitness classes are very good.
It's good.
And that has an equal good mix of men and women. But this thing in the head that I will not go out anywhere without my husband holding my hand, or I won't go anywhere where there are men who are populated. I think that shift has to happen for women to really step up and do things.
I see. Super. So my next topic is where your mental health is right now compared to before strength training.
It's in a great place. I'm not going to lie and say things like every day is a happy day. I never go through any mood swings or anything like that. But now I'm in a place where I don't look outside for my happiness. I know happiness is my choice in even the worst of situations. To be happy is just a mindset change that I need to do from myself. And I constantly keep working on it. And that's where I think the physical fitness really plays a very big role. Things like smallest of things, like let's say just facing the sunlight every day, adds a lot of energy to me, adds a lot of good mood to me. And when I personally feel I'm in a good energy space, no matter what sort of a situation I'm put forth with, I think I can easily handle it. Like even if there's someone who's saying something nasty to me, the earlier Ramya used to feel very agitated. She'll want to retaliate or prove a point saying that what you said was wrong and all that. Now it's just as simple as a smile. And I still feel good for that other person. God bless you. Maybe you need to grow up or make some good life decisions. But I'm in a happy place. And for me, it's become very simple. There was a time when I was like, I want to make X amount of money. I want to do all those things in life. I want to be a big achiever. That's when I'll be happy. Now, exactly where I am, I'm content, happy, and I've simplified things in life. It's about, happiness is all about the kind of relationships you have with the people around you. You don't need to have 100 friends, but if you have 3-4 good friends who are going to be there for you, the simple things of life, the pleasures of joy, where you have the satisfaction of working on something really hard and getting a goal. It can be at work, it can be a simple workout, and also the areas where you feel self-time is very important. There is a day in my week when I completely switch off all my phones, devices, Instagram. Every Sunday most of the time, unless it's a working Sunday. I do that. And that really helps.
Nice.
I don't now anymore compare about what other people in my zone are doing and feel sad about myself, or compare about the comments which are coming inside my handle and trying to self-sabotage me. Those things are not, and it's not that I worked miraculously at it. It was just simple stuff. When I started journaling, I started recording my feelings. I started talking to people who are close to me about certain decisions in my life. And I think you will attract the energy that you radiate. Even one thought, if it is negative inside you, that can have a profound effect on what is coming to you. And if one thought is positive from you, I can see that every single day, in fact. Like I just have to forgive, let go, and be in a happy space, and how that translates to the rest of the day for me. This is a day when I feel so fidgety and anxious and overwhelmed, and how that translates the rest of the day is a magical difference. And once you see the effects of this, you'd never want to go that side.
You saw the change right before and after strength training kind of thing, or was it just
it was not even about strength training. It was an evolving thing. I think it started with that community vibe of me connecting during those group workouts in the morning. It was me putting myself out there with people whom I didn't know at all. And coming from a career where people have a lot of preconceived notions about me, thanks to the articles which are written about us, thanks to every opinion people hear, watch, read, say, and all that, it's very hard for me to meet a crowd who are new, welcoming. They don't care about the job I do, and they see me as who I am. So when I put myself there about 10 years back in that HAIT group, they were all a set of people who were not from any media, film fraternity. They didn't really care about what I was doing. And it was very nice to see all of us come together each morning facing the sunlight for a solid 45-minute session. So if I was underperforming, I would see them and get motivated. And I would be like, okay, no, I have to match up with them. I'd become competitive one day. And even for me in the morning on days when I don't feel like going to work out, I'd be like, no, but 7 a.m. I'll meet all those friends, and then after the workout, we'll go have podi dosa and Sangeeta. Those were the happy things for me. I think that community vibe really made a difference. They sharing their stories, I sharing my stories, we becoming friends. It changes the mental game.
You don't have to be alone in this journey.
Yes, nobody is alone.
Right.
We weren't talking so much back then about our issues. Now I think in social media, after people like Deepika Padukone have become spokesperson for mental wellness, people say, people talk. So I do these days actually even put out posts saying, today is not a great day, I'm just feeling a little low. So I hope all of you are also doing well. Take care, bye. So that really makes a difference. And I think most of the time in my social media handle also, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, women, men, they really appreciate posts when you're more authentic, when you just don't do something for the sake of it. And for me today, there's no excitement in just shooting some happy photo shoot pictures of me wearing a sari and looking great. It is these sort of posts which gives me a lot of satisfaction.
Social media is I think it's a very, I'm still not sure it's a boon or a bane.
I don't know, even I'm not sure, but I really enjoyed the time when we didn't have it. Right?
So in US, when I was doing this by myself, right? So I'm going to be very honest, I was very happy. In the sense that I could just do whatever I want. And I think the initial growth was like that.
Right.
But now, I think while I'm talking to other team and everything, I feel like everybody has their own journey on handling the comment section.
Okay.
So I feel the other person is like, oh, okay, this video is not going to, I need to do a little bit more to get the other views compared to this video. I was like, you are all influenced.
Oh, this pressure, right? Oh, you're talking about the influencer's mindset.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Influencer's mindset. The peer pressure, this kind of peer pressure I saw only during my college days.
Oh, during your college days? I think...
School days, college days.
The time when I was doing television and hosting, I used to have no clue of what my contemporaries are doing. I'll go, I'll shoot, I'll come back, I'll be at home, I'll see my episode on television, and I'll be happy waiting for the next call to happen when they call me for shoot again. Today, it's like the minute you host something, immediately the next day, the next hour only or in live, it goes on YouTube, it goes on Instagram. Everybody says so and so is hosting this audio launch, that function, this, that. There's so much of comparison. Last time they hosted, this time this person hosted. It's like unnecessarily pushing us into areas we really didn't have a say about before. And it's a lot of information to process. We really don't want to know these things. We are very happy and content with what we have. But there's somebody sitting out there trying to like get things into our head in a way we want to. But for me, I don't have that pressure. I don't really care about checking the views, the number of likes, how it is performing.
I was surprised about the number of people who are actually focusing on that.
Because that's also their bread and butter, no doubt.
I think that's true.
For a lot of people, influencing today is not just something like you and me, which we do on the side.
Correct.
We have a profession.
Yes, absolutely.
We do this on the side.
True.
For a lot of people, that's become a full-time job. So they're getting competitive. It really matters to them.
But I think their mental health is at a really, really biggest risk. I'm telling you. I'm very scared of them. I'm sorry, I'm scared of the situation.
How do you handle the negative comments?
So initially, to be honest, I don't even look at what other content creators are doing.
Okay.
That is the first thing. Because I believe in something and then I put it on YouTube to see this is what my patients should follow.
Yeah.
That's what I always look at. And then initially when I do the COVID vaccination thing, everybody starts to like bash me like anything.
Okay.
So COVID, this guy got money from pharma. He is working for Pfizer and everything. I didn't care at all.
It never bothered you right from the beginning?
Right from the beginning. Because I know that this is the right thing to do. I know this is the right thing to do. I know this is going to save people. And it saved eventually. When people didn't know anything, I said, yes, you go for vaccination. That's why I got this reach and everything.
But for me, I think this was a process. Because when I came into media, there was no social media. And I was not prepared for this. Occasionally, probably some Tamil flimsy magazine will write some, gossip column, one small thing, snippet, which was also not too much happening for me, thankfully, back then. So it nearly didn't affect me. And people will always, to your face, say only nice things, right? So I was in a very nice, happy space where I do a job, I love the job, I come out and then people appreciate me. This is like the best of life. When social media happened, I was like, but what did I do to you? Why are you saying these to me? You don't even know me. Why are you saying such horrible stuff to me? It started there. And then I used to really take it very personal. There was a time when I would look for every negative comment and keep blocking or deleting it or trying to retaliate with it with an answer. Then I was like, I gave up. I'm like, it really matters who I am and the way people perceive about me. For me, only with the people who are in my immediate fraternity, my family, my close friends, my connections. If they think there's something wrong with me, I'll have to explain. I'll have to say, what's the problem? Let's fix this. But beyond that, everything else is superficial. Sometimes I wonder if they say this, right? In YouTube, when you put out a trailer or something like that, in 24 hours, you see a magical number of 1 million, 100 million. It's paid. There are, all these bots who are also, putting up stuff there. There are fake followers happening.
That's how I have 2 million.
Yeah. Oh God, I just said yeah also. Sorry. And sometimes Dr. Pal would not be liked by a certain Dr. XYZ. And Dr. XYZ will create 100 people and say, now go attack Dr. Pal.
I see.
So there are so many things happening which is beyond our control. If we seek validation from these comments every day, and honestly, doctor, let's say for a post of yours, there are 100 comments. I'm pretty sure 70 comments are positive.
30 are very bad.
The 30 are bad, fine. But why are we not focusing on the 70 which are positive?
I really don't know.
This was the thinking. Our mind always loves negativity, goes to negativity. But we have to keep telling it, shut up and listen to me. You don't try to overrule me.
How do you do that?
It was a self-talk.
You talk to yourself?
Yeah, I'm right now, I'm telling you, I've gone into a place where I literally see everybody as skeletons. For me, it's equality. For me, everyone is the same. I don't want to show respect and admiration only on somebody who has great following. I don't want to ill-treat a person who is probably asking for food on the road. Everybody has to be equal. So for me, people are just skeletons. And the way I also react, I don't want to react, I want to respond. So every time anything happens, whether it's making me angry, whether it's making me impatient, there's a small shift. I come out of myself, I say, this is how Ramya is thinking. Ramya feels this emotion. Now how Ramya should react. I take about 5 seconds for that, and then I come out with the reaction. I truly don't think it's a big deal, and try to put my self-ego, and I was a different person before. I think age really helps. Age
How
and
long do you
experience.
think the change, like
Very recent.
Very recent.
6 months to 1 year now.
Wow.
Because I didn't like myself. I didn't like being unpleasant. I didn't like losing my control.
I see.
I would regret later. Probably at home, my mother is not doing something which in the way I want her to. At that moment, I'll feel like, why is she doing this? But the way I talk to her, and then later, a few hours later, I'll really feel guilty. Oh God, she's my mother. I shouldn't be saying this to her. And poor thing, she's so old right now. I have to be nice to her. This is her, premium phase of her life. I need to keep her happy. And the more I started regretting and feeling guilty, I was like, why do I have to do this and feel guilty? Why can't I just avoid doing it? So that talk really shifted.
Wow. Wow.
Aging is good, I'm telling you. Feeling old, the experience you get. And today is also, I'm at a place, doc, where I really don't care about anything. I feel like as a girl who was conditioned from the very conservative society, if there are 100 men in front of me, I'd always like crouch myself, go sit in a corner, only say things when I'm asked to say, otherwise not really give my opinion. But as I'm aging, I understand that we're all humans end of the day. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. So if I want to say something, I'll just say, excuse me, can I share my thought? Or I don't think too much before talking. That confidence also, it comes with age and experience. That is a great liberating space to be in for a woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are in a very perfect space.
I wouldn't call it perfect. I'm always, somebody's working on myself.
And I want everybody to have that mindset. And that's very difficult to get it. Yeah. So I'm going to talk to Ramya, work every day on it and then try to get the mindset like what Ramya has.
Doc, it was such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Ramya.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.